How's everybody doing today? My name is Steven Rosenberg. This is Gene Ginzburg, and welcome to Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes. We are going to switch it up on you guys today and do something a little bit different than we usually do. And we are going to talk about some trends that we've been noticing, and the goal is to get you, the audience, and your feedback on how you guys feel. Gene, how are you doing so far today?
I'm doing excellent. Really excited to be here. And yeah, I like sometimes we're going to do different formats when it comes to our 10 minutes, marketing success in under 10 minutes. This one is not specifically about marketing, although there are marketing, marketing is indirectly related to what we're going to talk about because, with companies, basically the topic that we want to talk about today is going to be so many, disruptors, I guess, would be the 10,000 foot view, right? It's going to be disruptors. Yeah. So the trend that, of course, we're seeing, it's not anything new per se, but it definitely has been new in the last 10 to 15 years, is that there has been, industries that have become very mature. Things like, let's say, the cable industry, the TV industry, TV advertising, taxi industry, right? So all of these industries, and as we know now, speaking about all of these industries, there are so many disruptors out there in the last 10 to 15 years that have become huge. It's not just like they're like little startup companies that are like taking away, 1% of the market share. I mean, like they're taking away huge market share, huge attention away from people who have, the audiences, consumers who have been using the old industries and are now switching over to the new industries. Like, I don't take taxis anymore. I don't know who uses taxis anymore. Right. And it's not just the taxis. One of the things I heard from Gary Vee, because I always mention Gary Vee on this when I was listening to his podcast, was that it's also cars, right? So one of the gifts that now parents give their kids who are able to drive, like who are 16, instead of a new car, they give them unlimited Uber rides. That is like the gift that all like 16-year-olds want now. So they don't even want a car. They don't want to drive, which is true. Right. I hate driving. I don't want to drive. I'd rather have unlimited Uber rides. But so it's not just disrupting the taxi industry, but it's also disrupting the car industry because these people are not buying cars anymore for their 16-year-old kids. Same thing, of course, with TV, right? So TV has been huge. TV advertising, big, giant corporations and brands, pumping billions of dollars into TV ads, which now nobody's really watching because everybody's watching on-demand television. They're watching Netflix and on-demand Hulu and whatever. Like everything is on demand now. Like I don't want to watch commercials.
So I think the big thing that we're trying to focus in on here is these disruptors, I believe, all have to do with time. And the three separate things that we're talking about here is transportation, consumption of content, and I think retail is the other one. That those three industries are changing so drastically over the next, they've changed so much in the last 5 years.
I would say also now, more specifically recently, is about the financial industry. So with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and blockchain, you can take out the middleman now. Actually, very interestingly, I was talking to a startup yesterday, and I was talking to the founder because I'm going to interview him for my vlog, and he has a company that's about cryptocurrency, and so he's able to compete with bigger corporations now because they're taking out the middleman and they're not charging 10% for the transaction fee or whatever. Right. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you can charge 0% or very little. So because these credit card companies and these financial institutions have become so bloated that they started taking they started getting greedy and taking all of these transaction fees and making them so big. Now with cryptocurrency, you can compete with them because you can be like, okay, my transaction fee is 1% instead of 10%.
Right, exactly.
So I think it's kind of across the board with technology changing so many industries that, we need to be, and I just feel, the other thing that I see is that like these industries don't want to change. They're not seeing the light. They're not seeing that things are happening, and they're not they're not following the trend. They're just like being stubborn, I feel like. What do you think?
Right, exactly, because it hasn't worked. If it's worked for them in the past, they just want to continue it. So basically the bottom line is we went over 4 or 5 different industries that we've been really noticing changes on. But we'd really like to see if anyone else out there in the world wants to make a prediction to see what the next big industry is going to be and what they should do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to hear from you. And then if you have any examples that we didn't talk about, we'd love to hear from you as well, because there's additional, I'm sure, industries we did not mention, like the manufacturing industry or additional industries.
All kinds.
All kinds.
Yeah.
So absolutely, we'd love to hear from our audiences, and please leave comments or send us notes or questions. Any other last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, just I hope everyone else is a part of this changing world and you guys are open to some new ideas. I'd love to hear some new predictions from people. Let us know your thoughts.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Stephen and Gene.